Hi, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. So today we're going to do some tutorial discussion for chapter 4, focusing on the subtopic of 4.1 molecular and structural formula. We're going to focus on the tutorial question 1b and d, tutorial question 2b and c, and tutorial question 3b. Without any further ado, let us start. So for tutorial question 1, we have to draw the condensed structure and the skeletal structure for each of the compound given below. So the expanded structure are given here as shown here. So from the expanded structure here, we have to make condensed structure and also the skeletal structure. So I will do that in terms of the table. Okay, so here given is the expanded, we have to write it in terms of condensed structure. So we know that it started up with CH3, CH, C-double-bond-O, CH, and CH2, CH3. And this carbon here, for example, number 2 and number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the carbon number 2 will be attached with CH3, and the carbon number 4 going to be attached with CH3. So if I were to draw the condensed structure, I will get CH3, my first carbon, and then my second carbon going to be CH, and then I'll be attaching with CH3. So CH3. Okay, which refers that the carbon number 2 will have the substituents of CH3, rangkaian methyl. Okay, and that is why we put it in terms of bracket. And then for number 3, we have CO. So number 3, CO. Number 4, CH. And then we have CH3 as the branch here. Okay, so we put it in terms of bracket CH3. And then for carbon number 5 is CH2. And number 6 going to be CH3. Alright, so if I were to put it nicely, I will get CH3, CH, CH3, C-double-bond-O, CH, CH3, CH2, CH3, where the CO here can also be written as C-double-bond-O. Alright, it's optional whether you write it this way or this way. Now for the skeletal structure, because you know that it has 6 carbon, which is the longest carbon here, you're going to draw it as 1, starting from first carbon, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And carbon number 1, carbon number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, if numbers helps you, so you can write the numbers. And then at carbon number 2 here, the CH3 is being shown. So we have to make another branch which refer to carbon and CH3. And then at carbon number 4, we have another branch. Okay, so it refers to another carbon with 3 hydrogen. And at carbon number 3, we'll have double bond O. Okay, so this is gonna be our skeletal structure, where the skeletal structure means that the hydrogen is not being shown. Okay, so this is our skeletal structure. Now, we're going to do for question D. So this one is in the cyclic form, yang mana di dalam bentuk cincin, di dalam bentuk kotak di sini. So we're going to just follow the shape where we're going to do the condensed structure going to be CH, which refer to here, CH, and then attach with number 2 here, which is CH2 because of 2 hydrogen, and then carbon number 3, 2 hydrogen. Okay, and then carbon number 4 with double bond and 1 hydrogen. So this is the condensed structure. For the skeletal structure, we basically only draw the carbon. We only draw the skeletal structure where carbon, 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 and carbon, and we also show the double bond. We don't have to show the hydrogen. So what we will get is to be something like this. All right. Now for tutorial question 2, we have to draw the expanded structure and the condensed structure for each of the compound given below. So given here is the skeletal structure for number B and C. So now we have to draw the expanded and condensed structure. So in the skeletal structure given here, we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbon atom, and the number 4 here will have 2 attachment of methyl. So CH3 here and CH3 here. So we can draw the expanded structure where we will start with 5 carbon chain first. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then at carbon number 2 and carbon number 3, carbon number 2 and carbon number 3, they're going to be a double bond. Right? And carbon number 4, it's going to have a CH3 and it's going to have another CH3. So the same here, carbon number 4 going to have CH3 and the carbon number 4 here going to have a CH3. And for the other part, you only fill in the carbon with hydrogen so that it is shown for the hydrogen atom here. Now, for the condensed structure, it's basically a simplification of the expanded structure. So you're going to have CH3. Okay, so coming from here, we're going to have CH3, carbon number 1, and then CH, which is referred to carbon number 2, and carbon number 3 here, we're going to have CH as well. And for carbon number 4, here, it's going to attach with 1, 2, and 3 CH3, and that is why it is written as 4 CH3 with 3 of the methyl group, because 1, 2, and 3. Alright? Okay. Now we're going to focus on the expanded structure for the C. So given here is the skeletal structure. So you're going to expand it truly, and you can show the Cl and OH here. So what you're going to do is you can start with the cyclic structure here, where, for example, if you want to make it this number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and for carbon 1 and 2, they're going to be a double bond. So you're going to create a double bond. And for carbon number 1, it's going to have Cl. Meanwhile, for carbon number 5, you're going to attach with C double bond COH and CCH3. Okay, the same as here, COH and CCH3, where the hydrogen is not shown. Okay, so this is the expanded structure for part C. Alright, and you have to also show the H for the expanded structure. Now we're going to do the condensed structure. For the condensed structure, we will need to follow the cyclic shape, but now we're going to hide the hydrogen. So we're going to draw the set exempting, and then which is the cyclic. But now we're going to, instead of expanding the hydrogen, we're going to put it in terms of words. And for carbon here, it's going to be double bond. And then we have Cl here. So the Cl here, you can put it as Cl like this, or CCl like this is also accepted. Alright, and here for number 5, you're going to attach with C, H, and then OH as well as CH3. Okay, CH, and then C double bond COH and CH3. So the C here going to be attached with OH, and C here going to be attached with CH3. Alright, so that's are the things that you need to do for tutorial question 2. Now, move on to the tutorial question 3. We have to redraw the structure below and classify the carbons accordingly. So, for the carbon, you know that the carbon can be primary, secondary, tertiary, or quaternary carbon, depending on the number of the carbon atoms that it is bonded to. Okay, so for this case, let's see the carbon here. So the carbon here will be attaching with one carbon, and it will attach with oxygen, and the other is going to be hydrogen. So because it is attaching with only one carbon, so it's going to be a primary carbon. Now we move on into here, which is this carbon here. So this carbon here will be attaching with one of the carbon. Meanwhile, for the others, it's going to be H, H, and H. Alright, so since it is only attached with one carbon, it's going to be primary carbon as well. And the situation is the same for the others. For this one, for this one, for this one, and for this one. Now, for the next carbon, for example here, the carbon here going to be attached with, okay, you're going to be attached with 2 carbon atoms. And here refer to hydrogen and hydrogen. So the carbon here going to be secondary carbon because it attached with 2 carbons. Okay, and the same situation apply for this case and this case. Okay, because this attached with 2 carbon and here attached with here and here. Alright, so this one going to be secondary, secondary, and secondary. For carbon here, that's what you can see. The carbon here is attached with 1, attached with 2, attached with 3, and attached with 4. Okay, this carbon here. So it attached with 4, so it's going to be a quaternary carbon. Alright, because it attached with 4 carbon atom. So these are the classes of the carbon where it depending on the number of carbon atoms that it attached to. For the double bond, we don't have to classify it. So carbon, carbon, double bond, carbon, carbon, triple bond, we don't have to classify. No need to classify it. Because the classification of carbon is only applied for a carbon-carbon single bond, where it needs to be sp3. It attached with 4 single bond. Alright, so I think that's all for today's video. See you again some other time. Bye!